What's up everybody, it's Robin Gaming here. So the big news is out, all the Uncharted 4 reviews have been released, including my own. You've probably seen it by now, and I gotta start off this video really quickly thanking you all, because Jesus Christ, the channel has been doing absolutely amazing over these past, couple of weeks, just with all the Uncharted 4 coverage that I've done, the review that I just uploaded today. I mean, I uploaded it this morning, it already has about 25,000 views, 2,000 likes. It is literally insane to me to see that. It means a great deal to me to see that all my hard work is starting to really pay off. I mean, I've been doing this YouTube thing for like 4 years now, and it's just amazing that after such a long time now, still I managed to just, get more and more viewers every single time that really seem to be enjoying the videos that I put out, that thought the review was one of the best they've seen of Uncharted 4. It means a great deal to me once again to hear all those compliments by you all. But yeah, I actually gave the game a 10, of course. You might have probably seen that. And then when you give a game a 10 or something, a score like that, that's obviously always going to be sort of like controversial maybe in a way, because people start going into this whole debate of, well, does that mean the game is perfect, or does the game actually like deserve a 10 and stuff? And that's what I wanted to, I guess, kind of get into and explain to you why I decided to give Uncharted 4 Thieves End a 10 out of 10. You might have, I guess that's what I'll start off with, you might have noticed that the style for this review was kind of different than what I normally do. This time around I really went for this kind of like scripted approach, where I just talked about every single aspect of the game, really diving or delving deep into every single thing that the game contains, from the gameplay to the story, multiplayer, value, presentation, all that kind of stuff. And the reason why I decided to go for that approach is because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss a single thing, in the review, because I know it's such a big thing, I mean, I've been covering this game for so long, I know you all want me to pretty much not miss anything, right? So that's why I decided to go for that approach. At the same time, I also wanted to kind of pick my words very carefully, because I know that, if I just do a commentary, I might very likely just spoil something mistakenly or something that in the end people are going to complain about. So I wanted to make sure I would avoid that kind of stuff, and I went for this really, this time around, objective review, very scripted, where I talked about every single aspect in the game. Whereas normally I would just in a commentary format talk about a game, my experience, and then in the end the score that I would give a certain game would also simply be based on that. It wouldn't be very kind of like, I'm not the kind of guy who normally goes very professionally into every single aspect, trying to act like I'm IGN or something. I would just give the game a score based on that I have fun with it, wasn't an awesome experience, what would I rate my experience, and that's what the score in the end is simply based on. Now, because I did this review so objectively, so in depth, I found out that I was talking more about every single aspect of the game, if it was good, if it was bad, rather than just my own experience, I did talk, of course, about a couple of things that I myself seem to be missing, but that was not what the review itself was really about. The review itself was about, is the game good, is every single thing that you can find in the game done well, developed well and stuff. And that's why I realized that pretty much every single thing that the game contains is amazing. It's incredible. The game deserves a 10 in that way. Sure, it has its flaws and it's not perfect, but a 10 out of 10 in my opinion doesn't mean that the game is perfect, because nothing is perfect, It still has a handful of bugs, really not that much. The frame rate drops a couple of times, but who cares really? Like, the game itself is so awesome and everything is done super well. If there's one game out there right now that deserves a 10 this generation, in my opinion, it's Uncharted 4. And when I talked about the things that I honestly myself kind of missed, like for example, I thought that the game didn't have too many set pieces. I'm not sure if that's really like a thing I actually stand behind that much. Like, the game had a fair share of set pieces and everything that was there was awesome. I'm not sure if it really needed more. It was just I had so much fun with the set pieces that I would have liked to see a tiny few, more in there, because I missed that. But normally that's not something that counts towards like an actual objective review score, right? If I'm gonna review SingStar right now and say it doesn't have enough set pieces, makes no sense. You're supposed to rate a game on what it does contain and not on what it doesn't contain, You are supposed to rate a game what it does do, not what it doesn't do, once again. Then the last thing I talked about was the ending, which in my personal opinion, it wasn't what I wanted from it, it wasn't what I expected from it, it was neither of those. I got an ending that I'm still definitely fine with, don't get me wrong, but it should have been different in my personal opinion once again, but that doesn't take away from the fact that the ending is still well made and good, and it's a fitting ending ending probably. It's just I expected and wanted something a tiny little bit more and different, I would say. So that's why, you know, if I would have to give a score for my personal experience, it might not have been a 10, it might have been a 9 health or a 9.6, 9.7. Who gives a shit, honestly? Like, these scores are not supposed to be what you take away from a review. It's supposed to be about the content in itself. And I honestly, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have even been giving a game a score anymore in reviews at all. It's just for the simple fact that people want to see scores always being given after a review, because that's what they ultimately just want to, you know, take away from a review. But that, honestly, in my opinion, kind of sucks, because right now I'm seeing people discuss that, like, oh, Uncharted 4 Metacritic has a 94, Last of Us has a 95. Does that mean that The Last of Us is better than Uncharted 4? Like, seriously? I mean, we're talking about a 1-point difference here in all of these reviews that have been given. Like, it's gonna be different for everybody anyway, and when you play the game yourself, it's about your own opinion. What did you think of the game itself? So, that's kind of my whole thing, right? Uncharted 4 is not a perfect game. It's not, it has flaws that I personally would have liked to see being different, but at the same time I just realized, like, this is the game I've been wanting to play this generation so badly, you know. I mean, we've been playing so many open world games now, so many RPGs, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy those for sure, but it's not that type of game I've been looking for. I've really been looking for that linear adventure, and we got a couple of those, like for example The Order, but we all know that The Order didn't really pull it off well. Uncharted 4 is the very first time where I am both getting the game I really want to play done amazingly well without any real actual flaws, if you get what I mean. It is simply a 10 out of 10. This is the masterpiece I have played so far this generation. If there's one game that deserves the 10 out of 10 score that I gave it, it's Uncharted 4. So yeah, that's pretty much all what it comes down to, you know. Uncharted 4 simply deserves that 10 out of 10 score because everything it tries to do, it pulls it off perfectly. There's a couple of things I personally missed, but that shouldn't take away from the fact that the game itself is still amazing, and it's all going to be different for all of you, you know. I mean, I can definitely see many of you really liking the ending. I'm sure it's going to be a 50-50 situation where some of you will really like the ending, some of you will think there's going to be plenty of set pieces, and others might not, just kind of like agree with me. But then again, there's also going to be some of you that might find that the gameplay really wasn't exactly what you wanted from it, or the story wasn't what you wanted from it in general. And yeah, in that way, you know, we're all gonna get our personal kind of nitpicky stuff and things we wanted to see being different. But as a game in itself and as everything it tries to set out to do, it is simply almost perfect at that. So yeah, Uncharted 4 Thieves End is the one and only game that truly deserves a 10 out of 10 in my personal opinion. And for now, that was the video. So let me know what you think of this in the comments, of course. And then I hope you look forward to a lot more Uncharted 4 content being uploaded in the next couple of days. Everything spoiler free until the game releases, and from then on, if there's going to be videos with spoilers in them, it's gonna get a spoiler tag, so don't worry about that. But yeah, for now, thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate you all checking out these videos and being so enthusiastic about every single thing I put out. It means a great deal to me. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hope to see you again next time.